Good evening, guys, and happy Tuesday to all of your sunshiny faces. Well, guys, we've got some things moving along as far as project stuff goes and renovation stuff and everything like that. So I think possibly tomorrow we should be getting the one bad window installed, the one that really needs to be replaced, because it's, again, well, funny enough, when my dad was talking to the guy that's going to replace it, he was actually saying that when they installed the window, they did it incorrectly. So the way you're supposed to install the windows, you're actually supposed to, like, I don't know if it's just for, like, the pre-hung ones or, like, you know, or, like, the I want to say prefab ones, but, like, the ones that you don't have to have custom sized, or, like, I don't really know entirely for sure. Like I said, I'm not a window person, but from what he was saying was that the kind that they installed upstairs was actually supposed to be more installed from, like, the outside, so that these little like wing things that are kind of around the windows actually go onto the outside to prevent or help prevent water damage. Well, wouldn't you know, when we took everything down upstairs, we kind of noticed that there was like something around the window. And again, too, when we took the drywall insulation down, we're like, it's probably a good idea to take a good look at it and figure out what exactly is going on behind it. And that's when we did find out that there was definitely a lot of water damage caused by that window, because it was improperly put in. And so like I said, we kind of knew about it ahead of time, but we didn't know kind of how bad it was. We had an inkling that there was probably something wrong, because like the window just never looked right either, and not that you could really tell, but like there was just, it was very flimsy too, like really just like, I don't know, it was just not like a good window. And so, like I said, when we think that it was just the person that sold us the house. We're trying to kind of do everything cheap. And instead of properly installing it from the outside like they were supposed to do, just installed it from the inside, so all the water was coming right in through the window. So that was one of the reasons. But he needs to reframe around it, because there is water damage along the wood that is pretty significant that needs to be replaced. So he is going to be doing that, and most likely is doing that tomorrow. So we got, again, like the I want to say, like, I keep saying like prefab, but it's like the, the ones that you could just buy at like the hardware store. We got one of those, and it's it has like regular like glass pane at the top, but then it's got at the bottom, I think it's the bottom, it's got like multiple panes. I think it's just one window, but it gives the illusion that it's multiple panes, because it has like, just the design of it. It has like the extra like little, pane looking sort of things, but I think it's just one solid piece of glass. But my mom really liked that style anyway. However, they have both the top and the bottom piece have that like multiple, it looks like, I think 6 pane glass, even though again too, it's only like one piece. But they don't have them in stock at Menards. Then she really liked it. So my dad got this. We actually were originally just going to go with a regular like 2 pane looking, normal looking window kind of thing. But I guess they didn't have anything else at Menards, and this was what my dad saw, or he didn't necessarily know that that was what he was supposed to be looking for. So he ended up picking that up. But and so he, like I said, the guy that's going to come and do the window is going to do it tomorrow. But the other 3 windows we're going to order and do it with the multiple panes of glass, where it's like the 6 pane glass. And it's not going to look weird, because it's actually that, even though it'll be a slightly different because the tops won't have the panes. Which, like, I don't know why they have that where it's like only the bottom and not the top. Like, I don't know, it just seems like a weird design. But we're gonna order the other ones, like I said, which is in my mom's office and in her like closet space. So they're actually kind of more separate rooms, so you're never gonna really see the windows entirely like at the same time, because they're in a separate space. So it won't really look weird that like they're different like style windows. And also won't look weird from the outside, because the one window that we're having replaced that had the damage faces the backyard. The other ones face are like side yard, the other 3. So those ones all being the same is kind of how they need to look anyway. But again too, like we were talking to, again, our like contractor sort of like about the windows, is that it's smart, and it would be easier for him to be able to put the windows in right now. Well, there's no insulation and no drywall up. And so again, he is going to do that. And also too, again, with the replacing, like we know that obviously the wood can't really stay the way it is. It needs to be fixed and replaced anyway. So like with that, he is going to end up doing those, again, those pieces. And again, we can't do it with the drywall up. So we're kind of waiting on that a little bit anyway to completely finish the upstairs. The insulation that we're getting for the roof part of the upstairs, which creates like a vapor barrier, it's like the foil faced insulation, that won't be here until the weekend. And my dad still has some insulation that he can still do some of the rest of the walls with, but again too, we can't do a whole ton just because we're waiting on the windows to be done. So like as of right now during the week, there's not a lot that we can do really anyway, and he'll be here tomorrow to do that, which is really awesome. But like I was saying, you know, we don't have a lot of work that we can currently be doing. But Jack was able to actually get, which he's been working on his little project to get done kind of on his own. He just learned how to use the power washer. Typically I have always been the one that has power washed like the deck, and I power washed our lattice and like that kind of stuff. But the fence needs to be stained. We had the spot in between the driveway and like our yard was stained only on one side. I think. I don't know. Maybe it was stained on both sides, but I really think it was just one side was stained. And it wasn't even fully done either. So Jack power washed that, kind of stripped a little bit of the stain off that was on there so that he can restain it. It kind of looks all the same at the same time. And so he power washed it though over the course of 2 days, and then he stained the one side today, and he's going to do the other side tomorrow, along with mow the lawn in the backyard because the backyard lawn is horrible. But he got to that today, which was really cool. So his job is basically he needs to go around and power wash the rest of the backyard deck, like, or the backyard fence, because again too, just this little part was like probably it's a shorter fence too, and it probably is going to take the least amount of time out of all of it. And it still ended up taking him like you know, good chunk of time today to do. So it's going to be a multiple day project for him to get all of it done. Like the power washing is not all of too difficult, and it's not a huge, like it's not a huge pain to really do that. And honestly too, when you're power washing even on a hot day, it's kind of nice because you have the water, you know, kind of like spraying on you, so it's keeping you a little bit cooler. And you know, just from that, it's not quite as bad. But like when I do it, I'm normally doing it under the like deck anyway, so it's shaded, and I a lot of times do it in spring, so it's normally also not that hot out. Like I'm sure it was hot for Jack today, especially doing the staining, but he's getting to that. That's his kind of big project to kind of finish for the end of the summer. Like that's like the goal, is to have all of the fence done and stained this year, because again too, we never, when we got it put in a couple of years ago, we never stained it, so now we're staining it. We tried, like I said, to do the one spot, but like we also didn't have the proper staining material really. My dad was just using this really cheap paintbrush, and it took forever to do, and it was pretty ridiculous. And so we actually have like good like staining like sponge kind of like things, and so it actually worked very well, it seemed like, for Jack today. So again, he got that done. It was a decent chunk of fence, but it wasn't like, you know, it's gonna take him a lot longer to get some of the other stuff done. But he needs to power wash everything else, but he still has to finish the one side, and like I said too, the backyard lawn needs to be mowed. But I did some dishes and laundry today, and got to some things too. We don't have a lot that we can get done right now, just because again we're waiting on some of the upstairs stuff and kind of waiting on either again delivery or other installation that we're not doing ourselves. So that's why as of right now, that's kind of where we are with everything. But I thought I'd just update you guys, because today again too, we actually, like, that's when kind of everything came together. We figured out what was going on, and again too, Jack got his project done. So that's just a little update as far as those things that are going on. But I need to go hop in the shower and get to bed, so I will see you guys in tomorrow's vlog. But if you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love it if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye guys.